Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Tunny again, and this evening I'm just going to read you a little story, okay? So I've got my book here, but I've just hidden the title, that's the name of our story, just so that you can have a little look at the front cover illustration and have a little chat maybe to mum and dad about that. If you want to pause the video, you could chat about who the characters in the story are and maybe where the story is set, and I wonder what time of year the story is set in as well. And if I look at how these characters are dressed, I wonder what they are going to do. Okay, you have a think about that and maybe have a chat to mum and dad. You can pause the video if you want. And we'll just reveal, ta-da, the title of our story. And it's called Kipper's Snowy Day by Mick Inkpen. Okay. Oh, lots of things to do on a snowy day. I wonder what they're going to get up to. Now I'm just going to flip over to the back of my book so that we can have a little look at the blurb. And the blurb says, huge cotton wool snowflakes. Isn't that a lovely description of snowflakes, boys and girls? They just feel and look like cotton wool. So soft. Huge cotton wool snowflakes are tumbling past Kipper's window, and Kipper can't wait to go outside. So we know that this little character is Kipper, and then this one must be Kipper's friend. I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more about him as we read our book. Let's read together. Kipper's Snowy Day. Now, look, there's a little bird perched on top of a chimney, or perhaps that little bird is perched on a fence post in the snow. Do you know what that bird is called? Yeah, well done, you're right. That's the robin with his lovely red breast. And he does look a little bit sad. I wonder why it is that robins find life maybe a little bit more difficult in wintertime. You could maybe talk to mum and dad about that as well. Now, let's have our story. Can you see? Yeah. It was a new morning and it was snowing. Huge cotton wool snowflakes were tumbling past Kipper's window. Yes, said Kipper, jumping out of his basket. Yes, yes. He grabbed his scarf and wound it 3 times round his head. Yes, yes, yes. Kipper was very positive about snow. He does love the snow. Kipper rushed outside. The snow lay deep and smooth and new, like an empty page waiting to be scribbled on. He made a paw print, and then another. And then, with a whoop, he went charging round and round, crisscrossing this way and that, until the garden was full of his tracks. He is having fun, isn't he? Kipper stopped to catch his breath, letting the swirling snowflakes melt on his tongue. Then he fell backwards into the snow and lay there panting. When he stood up, he found that he had made a perfect Kipper-shaped hole. He tried again. Then he tried a different shape, and another. I bet Tiger hasn't thought of this, he said, and ran off to find his best friend. I love these shapes he's making in the snow, don't you? Kipper found Tiger at the top of Big Hill. He was wrapped up in a fat bundle of silly, woolly clothes. Kipper plopped a friendly snowball on top of his head. Hello, said Tiger. Tiger pointed up at the sky. A watery sun was seeping through the grey clouds. It won't last, he said. It'll all be gone by tomorrow. There's a warm wind coming. Tiger was like that. He knew things. But this was not at all what Kipper wanted to hear, so he started throwing snowballs at his friend. Tiger was very easy to hit because the silly woolly clothes were wrapped so tightly around him that he could hardly move, and his own snowballs stuck like little pom-poms to the silly woolly gloves. So he's not really getting to throw his own snowballs, is he? They're sticking to his gloves. "Look at my new game," said Kipper, falling backwards into the snow. "You get up very carefully, and there you are." And there he was, or at least the shape of him. Tiger stretched out his arms and fell backwards with a soft, woolly crump. But when he tried to get up, he couldn't. He was too round. He just lay there waving his arms and legs like a beetle on his back. Poor Tiger. All those woolly clothes. Tiger heaved himself over onto his tummy, but rolled too far and found himself on his back again. He tried again. The same thing happened. Snow began to stick in thick lumps to the silly woolly clothes. Crossly he heaved himself over once more. This time he rolled over twice, 3 times, 4 times. Oh my goodness, what do you think's going to happen, boys and girls? What do you think? Look. Slowly at first, and then a little faster, and then a lot faster, and then very fast indeed, he rolled down the hill. And as he went, the silly woolly clothes picked up more and more snow, so that by the time he reached the bottom, he had changed from a small dog into a giant snowball. The giant snowball fell to pieces. Kipper charged down the hill. "Are you all right, Tiger?" he panted. Tiger pulled off his silly woolly hat. A big grin spread across his face. "Again," he said. So that is what they did, all day long, taking turns to wear the silly woolly clothes. And by the time the sun began to dip toward the hill, making their shadows long and skinny, they had rolled enough snow to the bottom to build a giant snow dog. They watched their shadows lengthen and fade. "It'll all be gone by tomorrow," said Tiger. "There's a warm wind coming." But for once, Tiger was wrong. The warm wind stayed away, and that night another snowstorm smoothed out all of Kipper's paw prints, making the garden like a clean, white, empty page once more. And the snow dog stood at the bottom of Big Hill, wearing Tiger's silly, woolly clothes for almost 3 whole weeks. The end. The snowman melted away after 3 whole weeks. I hope you enjoyed the story, boys and girls. And I hope you take a look at some of the clothes that Tiger wore to go out in the snow, the silly woolly clothes as Kipper described them. And I know that one of your optional tasks is to draw and label what you would need to wear if you were going to go out on a very cold wintry day. So you might be able to use some of these clothes as ideas for what you're going to draw and label. Have fun. Bye.